Welcome to lesson 1B.7, guided notes and must-do practice. I want you to note that this is also must-do practice. So even though these are guided notes, you need to turn this handout in because it will have your practice on it. Okay, so we're going to complete the square. Completing the square is a process that allows you to write an expression of the form x squared plus bx as the square of a binomial. What do we mean by that? Our goal is going to be to make a perfect trinomial so that we can write it as the square of a binomial. So let's start with, what do we mean by perfect trinomial? So we have to remember back to when we did special cases. So this was one of our special cases. Okay, for some of you that recognize it right away, you know it's a special case because you would look at the first number here and you would say, there's a 1 in front there, and the square root of 1 is equal to 1. And over here, we have a 9, and we know that the 9 is also a perfect square. All right, so the leading coefficient is perfect. The C value at the end here is perfect. Now we're going to test this. If we take this value 3 and multiply it times 1, 1 times 3 is 3. And if we double it, that's our middle value. That means it's a perfect square binomial, so that we can write that as so this is a special case. So when we learn special cases, we were looking for perfect trinomials, and then we converted them to the square of a binomial. All right, and that's what we're going to practice doing first today. So our goal today is to convert from perfect trinomials to binomials, square of binomials. So we're going to practice that first. And then the second step that we're going to do today is I'm going to show you what you can do with that skill. All right, so let's start here. Before anything, you want to make sure that you write this formula down or this conversion down here. And then I'm just going to go through a couple of examples with you until you get comfortable with it, and then you'll practice. So we want to find the value of C that makes this expression here a perfect square trinomial. And remember, when I'm talking about C, I'm talking about if we look at standard form for a quadratic equation, C is the last value here. So here I have a C, and I want to know what value can I put in there to make this a perfect square trinomial. All right, so step 1, we're going to pull out the B value. And the B value in this case is my -7. Now we're going to find B over 2. B over 2 is equal to -7 over 2. And the last one is B over 2 squared, which is equal to -7 over 2 squared. Well, what's -7 over 2 squared? Well, a negative times a negative is going to be a positive. If I square 7, I get 49. If I square 2, I get 4. All right, so now we're coming up here and we're going to look. What's a perfect square trinomial? It's this. So if I have B over 2 squared in this location, it's a perfect square. So we have x squared minus 7x. So if B is -7, then I should have in this location a plus 4, 49 over 4. That's my C. Okay, so we have some practice problems that look similar to that. And let's go to our next page. Let's pick a couple of these. So I'm just going to randomly pick 2 of them, and then you're going to do some practice yourself. So remember, the steps are that we're going to pull out B. We're going to calculate B over 2, and we're going to find B over 2 squared. You'll see why I want all of these. Right now, our goal is to just get to B over 2. All right, so B is this value right here, so it's -12. -12 divided by 2 is -6. -6 squared is 36. So what value am I going to put in up here? My value is going to be x squared minus 12x plus 36. All right, so you're going to take a few minutes and you're going to practice what I just did, looking for values of c that are going to make this a perfect square trinomial. Okay, so now that you're all experts at finding the perfect square trinomial, let's see if we can use that skill to solve a quadratic equation. And we're going to start by solving a quadratic equation that has a coefficient of 1. So what do I mean by that? Remember this number right in front here? As long as that number is 1 in front, then we're going to use the procedure that I'm going to show you. All right, so let's start with that. Okay, so we're going to do just what we did last time. I want this to be a perfect trinomial. And I'm going to first check out whether that -3 makes a perfect trinomial. So let's check it out. I'm going to write down b. B is 10. I'm going to write down b over 2. B over 2 is 5. And now b over 2 squared. I'm going to square 5, and I get 25. So that obviously is not a perfect square. So this value right here I can't use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and get rid of it. So let's start by writing my equation. Okay, and I want to solve my quadratic equation. And remember, I can solve it because it has an equal 0 over here. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move that 3 to the other side. Because if I have a 3 there, it's not perfect. All right, so now there's going to be a space right there because I want to make it perfect. And on the other side, I have 0 plus 3, which is 3. All right, so now I'm going to go back up here and look at my conversion. If I have b over 2 squared there, then I can replace this other side over here with b over 2 squared. So let's see what happens now. I'm going to come down here, and what goes in here? B over 2 squared. And what is that? 25. But I just can't sort of randomly throw a 25 in on one side of the equation. I have to add 25 to this side of the equation. Okay, but now on the left-hand side, this is now a perfect square. So that means I can replace it with x plus b over 2. So x plus, and what's b over 2? 5 squared equals, and what do I have on this side? I have 28. All right, so now you're going to see why I would bother doing this. Because I want to solve this quadratic equation. And so far, we know how to factor, but not all equations are factorable. So how do I go about solving this one? Well, now I can solve it pretty easily, because now I just have to take the square root of both sides. On this side, if I take the square root of a square, I get x plus 5. And on this side, if I take the square root of 28, I get plus or minus 28. All right, let's come over here. Oops, I'm new to this board here. All right, not done solving this. I'm going to move that 5 to the other side. So now I have x. Oh, let me show you the step. There you go, minus 5, minus 5. I have x, and that cancels, equals. Okay, so this is where it's going to get confusing because you're not used to seeing it written like this. I'm going to put the minus 5 up front because I always put the whole number up front. And this is plus or minus the square root of 28. But I know all of you know how to simplify that. So let's do that. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to simplify the square root of 28. I can break that up into the square root of 4 times the square root of 7. But what's the square root of 4? 2 square roots of 7. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and replace this with equals minus 5 plus or minus 2 square roots of 7. Now, I'm okay with you leaving it. That's okay. That's a perfect answer. I'm going to show you, though, that there are actually two answers here. So this is the way you would write it if somebody said to you, what are actually the two answers? My two answers are minus 5 plus 2 square roots of 7 and minus 5 minus 2 square roots of 7. We actually have two values. And that's our answer. Okay, so I've showed you one sample. I'm going to do one more sample for you out of the 4 problems that I'm going to ask you to do to practice. So let's try doing 49. Now, one of the things I want you to notice about the 2 right above it, 47 and 48, is they don't say equal to 0. They're equal to 9, equal to negative 28. So you could move this over to the other side, but what I would do first is find out whether that's the value you want on this side. Chances are it isn't. All right, so let's go down and look at number 49. So first step we're going to do is write down our values. So we know that b is equal to 20. And b over 2 is half of that. It's 10. And b over 2 squared is equal to 100. All right, so I want 100 there, and I have 104. So let's get rid of the 100. And we're going to move the 100 to the other side. It's a positive 100, so now it's a negative 104 over there. And I'm going to replace that value that I just moved right here with plus 100. And I'm going to add 100 on this side. Okay. On this side, I'm going to do my arithmetic. So my arithmetic is minus 4 equals. And here now I can replace that perfect trinomial with a binomial. b over 2 is 10. Okay. Now we need to take the square of both sides. So this is where our math builds, because what's going to bother anybody that's looking at it is you don't particularly like the fact that that's negative square root of 4. So on this side we have x plus 10. When we take the square root of a value, we ended up with plus or minus, and this is an imaginary number. So this is 2i. Okay, I'm going to move the 10 to the other side. So my answer is x is equal to, notice it's a negative 10, because I always write that number first, and this is plus or minus 2i. Okay, you're going to do the next couple on your own, and then watch the next video.